Hello and welcome to Discover Community Church, whether you are joining us from online or from our watch party. First, we will start with praise and worship. Then we will move to our mindful moment. Thank you for joining us at Discover Community Church.
You fill me up, strength for the journey, always enough. When I am lonely, you're there. Everything I need, love all around me. You'll never leave me alone. When I'm ready to give, Lord, you won't let me go. You keep holding me. When I'm ready to give, Lord, you won't let me go. You keep holding me. Hey,
Stood at the end,
right where I was.
you came to find me.
Dependable God,
You've been a friend,
I can count on you. You
never denied me your love.
whenever.
I'm in need, goodness and mercy
Follow me.
shall follow me. I'm not alone.
I'm never alone. Here's what. When
Ready to give, Lord, you won't let me
hey,
go. You keep
yeah,
holding
say
me.
when
Ready to give, Lord, you won't let me
let me
go.
go.
You keep
You got it now. When
ready to give, Lord, you won't let me
won't let me go. Woo. Consistent love.
When I'm ready to give, Lord, you won't let me
Won't let me go. You keep holding me. Hey, this one is for those who feel like you're at your end. For the single mom, for the one who's sick, for the one at war. Keep your head up and know that God won't let you go. You won't let me go. You got me. Hey, I know there's safety in your arms. You won't let me go. Hey,
won't let me go.
you got me.
Got me,
I know
I know
there is safety
there's safety in your arms.
and no matter what,
Won't let
me go.
me go.
You won't let
Let
me go. And you got me. I know there is safety in hey,
your arms.
you won't let
We
when
go.
I'm ready to give up, Lord, you won't let me go. You keep holding me when
Ready to give, Lord, you won't let me go. You keep holding me. Never let me go.
never
Let
let me
in your arms.
and you never will let go. No, you'll never, oh, never
Yes, thank you.
and you never will let me go.
The DCC Mindful Moment is a mindfulness practice designed to help us improve our ability to decrease stress, anxiety, and regulate our emotions. This time is intended to help us focus our attention and observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment. We invite you to join us. Find a comfortable position, remove any distractions, and prepare to experience God through our connection with the world around us. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Focus on how your breath fills your lungs, cooling your body as it moves through you. Your breath is the start to a new moment. It is the beginning of what comes after. You are able to move and be because of it. What we do with each breath is a choice. We can, at any moment, choose to be better than we were at our last breath. We can choose better with every breath. Imagine yourself sitting on a bench in a park. The park is bustling with activity, but everything is silent. You watch children jump and play. Dogs run aimlessly with the joy of being off of the leash. The sun sits high in the sky. Its rays shine through the leaves of the trees that provide you with shade. There is just enough shade and sun to warm you. A breeze blows across your skin, causing the tiny hairs on your arm to perk up. There is no sound to be heard anywhere. You breathe deeply. Your breath is audible to you. With each breath, you enjoy the rest of that moment. Your body is relieved that the weight is lighter while you sit. All around you is joy. Everyone and everything is present in that moment. You are recharging slowly, steadily. Because of this moment, you are ready for the next. You are open to the possibilities your breath affords you. You may not know what you're going to do next, but you know that with the next breath, you will make the most of it. You will use it to astound. You will surpass all expectations because you are ready. Any challenges that are on the way are as silent as the air around you. They are as peaceful as the sun that warms your skin. Now, open your eyes and breathe deeply. And with that breath, whatever is next begins, because you are ready.
Good morning and welcome to church. Family, it is so great to be able to spend time with you. I pray your fall has been going well, that the kids are settled into school well, and everything is going great. Look, there was a lot of excitement around Discover Community Church as we transition leadership from me, Pastor Kev, to Pastor Wesley Johnson. I need for you guys to understand and know that Pastor Wesley Johnson has always been a part of the succession plan. Initially, I thought that I would hand off the mantle at the age of 60. And we are pulling the ripcord a little early, but he's always been a part of the succession plan. He's capable, he's gifted, he's brilliant, and I strongly believe in his leadership. Now, to prepare us for the transition of leadership, I want to start a series today called Passing the Baton. I want to start a series called Passing the Baton, and the first sermon in that series I've titled, But It Worked Though. Now, what I want to do is I want to look at the life of Samson. I want to look at one particular instance in his life, but in order to do that, we need context and we need to take a bird's eye view of the life of Samson. So Israel is at a pivotal moment where they've messed up and they're in the process of coming back to God. They're being run over by the Philistines, and the Lord is about to raise a judge to deliver them. And what he does is he sends an angel to talk to a man by the name of Manoah and his wife who's barren. And this is what he says. He says, "Fear not and cheer up, for you will have a child, and that child is going to be special." Now, he looks at the mother. He says, "This is what I need for you to do. I need for you to abstain from fermented drinks and from touching dead things. I need for you not to eat anything that is unclean. And when the boy is born, he needs to live the life of a Nazarite. In the same way, he should not drink any fermented or strong drink. He should not eat anything unclean, and no razor shall touch his head." And they have this amazing baby boy. I love the story of Samson because to me, he is one of the most relatable biblical characters, because he illustrates for us somebody who has amazing strength, but it's also a cautionary tale that if we are not careful, our weaknesses can override our strength to the point where it becomes our demise. Now, I don't believe his weakness is the issue that has been presented to us time after time after time. I don't believe his weakness is the thing that has been preached over pulpits for many, many years. I don't believe that Samson's weakness is lasciviousness, unrestrained passion. I don't believe that, because Samson is in search of what we all are in search of, and that is deep human connection with someone that you could be vulnerable and open with. He is searching, and we all now understand that it's important to surround that search with discipline. But I don't believe that that was Samson's great weakness. He enters this relationship with Delilah, and in my humble opinion, that relationship too has been wrongly described to us as some wild sexual affair. Because if you just read up a few verses in, I believe it's chapter 16 of Judges, you see that Samson had been visiting houses of prostitution. So he was getting that itch scratched, so to speak. I think what Delilah provides for Samson is a safe space where he doesn't have to be strong all the time. She provides a safe space for him to be vulnerable And Samson finds himself in a relationship that isn't good for him, but feels good to him. The relationship is not good for him because she's trying to figure out the source of his strength in order to bring him down. So how do you know that? Because the Philistines come to Delilah and they say, look, we will all pay you money if you can just figure out the source of his strength so that we can overtake him and jail him. Now, this should beg for all of us to ask a question. Why are they confused about the source of Samson's strength? Now, again, I believe the picture of who Samson was is a misrepresentation. We have a tendency to think that Samson looks like this. Big, hulking, and strong. But if Samson looked like that, there's no reason to try to figure out the source of his strength. In actuality, I believe Samson looked more like this. A little bit more like Steve Urkel. A little weak. See, if he looks like this, then now I have to figure out how he's so strong. And he finds himself in a situation where he's in a relationship that's not good for him, but it feels good to him. And so she's constantly trying to figure out, Samson, please tell me the source of your strength. Samson, please tell me the source of your strength. And he says, look, if you tie me up with these reeds, then I won't be strong anymore. And she tries that, and she calls the Philistines. She says, Samson, the Philistines are on their way. And he gets up, breaks out of the bamboo reeds and beats up the Philistines. And she says, why are you playing with me? Tell me again. She said, if you take new ropes and tie me up, he says, then I will become as weak as any other man. And she ties him with new ropes, and she calls the Philistines, and she says, I got him now. And she says, Samson, the Philistines are upon you. He wakes up, breaks off the ropes, and puts the Philistines to flight. And she says, look, why are you doing this to me? Look, this is Delilah. Come on, I provided a safe space for you. He says, look, if you braid my hair, I'll become just like any other man. And she tries that, and to no avail. And finally she says, look, I've had it. This is it. If you don't tell me the source of your strength, it's over and done with. And y'all know the story. Samson tells her, look, no razor shall touch my head. He falls to sleep. She cuts his hair. He wakes up and he realizes that his strength is gone. However, I believe that Samson's true weakness, again, I don't believe it's lasciviousness, unrestrained passion. I believe his true weakness is an inability to let things go. Samson has an inability to let things go. Watch this. What you'll find is Samson goes down to the Philistines, and he finds a young lady, and he admires her. He likes her, and he tells his family. He says, "Look, I need you to go over to the Philistines, and there's this young lady over there. Y'all need to go get her for me to be my wife." And they push back and they say, "Look, can't you find a suitable mate amongst your own people?" Why? He said, no. I need you to go and get her for me. They do. They have a wedding celebration. And in the wedding celebration, Samson gives a riddle. And with that riddle, he makes a bet. He says, look, if y'all can figure out this riddle, I'll give you 30 sets of clothes. But if y'all can't figure out the riddle, you got to give me 30. And he gives the riddle, and they can't figure it out. It's a 7-day celebration. and his wife comes to him day 3, and she says, look, why don't you, because they talk to the wife and be like, look, get the riddle so we can win the bet. And he won't tell her. He won't tell her. Around about day 6, she comes to him again and says, look, Samson, come on, could you just tell me the answer to the riddle? I'm your wife. And he tells her the answer to the riddle. She goes and tells them, and they tell it to Samson, and Samson is hot as fish grease. Hot as fish grease, and he knows that his wife told the source of the riddle. I know y'all got the answer from her. And he storms out the house, march down the street, beat up 30 dudes, strip them naked, and come back and be like, here your clothes, and then leaves again. Now, her father thinks that Samson is done with her and the family and marries her off to someone else. Well, after a certain amount of time, don't know how much it is, the Bible doesn't say, Samson shows back up to spend some time with his wife. And the father said, whoa, where you going? He says, I'm going to spend some time with my wife. And the daddy of the bride says, I've already given her to somebody else. And Samson, because he can't let it go, says, I'm going to get revenge. And this is what he does. Look, watch how petty this is. He goes out and he captures 300 foxes. He pairs the foxes together by tying their tails together. And in between the tying of the tail, he puts and lights a torch and sends the foxes into the fields and totally scorches their fields. As a result, they go to what was his wife, who now father had given her to somebody else, and they burn that down. And he is hot yet again and comes to town and begins to beating people up. Look, because he can't let it go. He's always talking about a get back. He's always talking about revenge. And so after one of the source of revenge, one time he got so upset with him, he snatched the city gates off by the hinge and put them up on top of the hill and be like, now you're vulnerable. Huh? And so he goes and he hides in a cave, and over 1,000 Philistines go down to Judah, and they talk to the men there, and they say, look, we need for you to give us Samson. And the Bible says 3,000 men of Judah get together. I guess they was like, Slim, I'm not going by myself. You got to go with me if I'm going to talk to Samson. Somebody said, well, if I'm going, by the time 3,000 dudes are going to talk to Samson at this cave, and they say, Samson, look, don't you know that the Philistines really rule over us? And so, Samson, we need to capture you so we can give you over to them, because what's his ultimate downfall is his ability to let stuff go. Look, if you fast forward to the end of his life, watch this. You fast forward to the end of his life, his head has been shaved, they pluck out his eyes, and they have him pushing a grinding stone, which is normally done by animals. And one day, and they would call him out during times of feast and make fun of him because this great man is now reduced to such a pitiful person. And what he does is he goes to the support pillar in the palace of the Philistines, and he says this prayer: God, could you restore my strength? And because he could not let stuff go, this is what he says: allow me to push over these pillars and kill them all dead. Because even being blind and even being stripped of his strength, he just can't let it go. And then he says this. He says, Lord, please, after I kill them, would you allow me to die in the rubble too? Now, this is my opinion. This is Pastor Kev's opinion. Boom. My opinion. I believe that the reason he wanted to die is because even with eyes, he knew he'd find Delilah again. Now, Samson, we back at the cave, 3,000 men. And here we pick up the story in Judges chapter 15, starting at verse 11. Then 3,000 men from Judah went down to the cave in the rock of Etam and said to Samson, "Don't you realize that the Philistines are ruler over us? What have you done to us?" And he answered, "I merely did to them what they did to me," because he can't let it go. And they said to him, "We've come to tie you up and to hand you over to the Philistines." And Samson said, "Swear to me that you won't kill me yourselves." "Agreed," they answered. "We will only tie you up and hand you over to them. We will not kill you." So they bound him with 2 new ropes and led him up from the rock. As he approached Lehi, the Philistines came toward him shouting, and the Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon him, and the ropes on his arms became like charred flax, and the bindings dropped from his hands. And finding a fresh jawbone of a donkey, he grabbed it and struck down 1,000 men. Watch this now. Samson is on his way to be handed over to a hostile environment. A hostile takeover is about to happen, and he grabs the jawbone of a donkey and he swings the jawbone until there are no Philistines left. Can I just say parenthetically and just encourage somebody? You've been in the fight of your life. Can I just encourage you to, if you could just find enough strength to take one more swing. And I know Samson is tired, but he finds the strength to take one more swing. I know he's discouraged, but he finds the strength to take one more swing. I know he's bloodied and he's beat up, but he finds the courage, he finds the strength to take one more swing. And if you would just find the courage to take one more swing, at some point there will be nothing else left to knock down. He finds the courage, he finds the strength to take one more swing. And he's standing there. I'm sure he's a bloody mess. He has the jawbone of a donkey in his hand, and he's just struck down over 1,000 men. Verse 16, then Samson said, "With a donkey's jawbone, I have made donkeys of them. And with a donkey's jawbone, I have killed 1,000 men." He sounds like a rapper, doesn't he? And when he finished speaking, he threw away the jawbone, and the place was called Ramath Lehi. Watch this. Watch this. This is where I want to rest for my final 5 minutes. Samson has just experienced an amazing victory. Samson has just killed 1,000 Philistines in a very unconventional way. The jawbone of a donkey was not even then a conventional fighting tool. A conventional fighting weapon. He has a great victory, and watch what he does in verse 17, because this is where we have to rest for the next 5 minutes. For the Bible says, after experiencing the great victory, he threw away the jawbone. Watch this. I have 1 point for the day, and you've got to be able to catch this. You must be willing to leave behind that which once gave you victory. I'll say it again. You must be willing to leave behind that which once gave you victory. Now, this is not the conventional church ideology today, because the church of today would have took the jawbone with them. The church of today would have came up with the Jawbone Conference. The church of today would have written books about the jawbone. The church of today would have taught other pastors how to use the jawbone. And Samson understands this. What gave me victory in this season won't necessarily give me victory in the season to come. And the Bible says he drops the very thing that gave him the victory. The church has been extremely poor at this, for they believe if it gave you victory, then it should not change. If it gave you victory, then we should continue to use it. I believe it was the former CEO of General Electric, Jack Walsh, who says, if the rate of change on the outside of an organization exceeds the rate of change on the inside, the end is near. And so when we look at the church at large, the culture on the outside of the church has changed a lot more rapidly than the culture inside of the church and our ability to impact what goes on outside of the walls. The church has allowed what worked to hinder progress. The church has allowed what worked to even hinder growth, organizational growth, as well as personal growth. Again, you must be willing to leave behind that which once gave you victory. Now, I realize and accept that my announcement to step down, again, not step away, because I love this community. My announcement upset some and maybe angered others. But is it possible that Pastor Kev recognizes that what gave us a victory in this season may not be able to give us the victory in the next? And Pastor Wesley Johnson is poised and gifted and brilliant and prepared to take us to victories in the next. So you may ask, Pastor Kev, well, what does that look like? And I will say, come back in 2 weeks as we continue the series, Passing the Baton. Look, I love you. I'm excited about the future of Discover Community Church, and I hope you are too. Because again, I'm not stepping away. I'm just stepping down, and I'll be working beside you. I'm going to be following Pastor Wesley Johnson's leadership. He will never have to worry about me undermining and undercutting his leadership. And maybe we can be able to show others, number one, that a transfer of leadership can be done successfully. And number two, we can show them that there is such thing as a peaceful transfer of power. Look, I love you, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. God bless.
Wow, guys, that was really great. Thank you for joining us at Discover Community Church.
Discover Community Church is here, and here's what you can expect. Join us every first and third Sunday for our worship services. You can tune in online or join us in person at one of our watch parties in Maryland or Virginia. Watch parties are an opportunity to meet the Discover family in person and watch the service stream together. Registration is required. Second and fourth Sundays are self-care Sundays. This is your day to recharge. Spend the day with family and friends, get some rest, catch a movie, or do whatever fills your cup. Every fifth Sunday is our Service Sunday, where we'll host community outreach events, giving us another chance to gather and impact our communities. We can't wait to welcome you to our irresistible church.
What's up, guys? My name is Caleb. DCC Kids. We meet first and third Sundays during our watch parties. Hope we see you there.
Are you connected? Go to comediscover.org to fill out our connection form and follow us at Come Discover Us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Your generous donations make a huge impact and allow us to host our Fifth Sunday service projects, sponsor community events, and make donations to local schools and our nonprofit partners throughout the year. Contributions can be made by text to give, Cash App, Tithely, PayPal, and Breeze. Go to comediscover.org to donate. Exciting changes are ahead at DCC, and we want to hear from you. Use the QR code to submit your questions, comments, and well wishes related to our upcoming leadership changes as we pass the baton and enter the next leg of our ministry journey. We are teaming up with the Prince George's County Police Department for a special sock collection drive, led by our incredible DCC youth. From November 1st through December 15th, we'll be collecting new athletic socks in all sizes for children and adults. Did you know that socks are the least donated but most requested item in shelters? For many, a fresh pair of socks can prevent cold feet in winter, reduce the risk of infections, and restore a sense of dignity. If you'd like to support this effort, you can donate socks at our watch parties in November and December or at our Christmas brunch on December 15th in Waldorf, Maryland. Every pair of socks will bring comfort to those in need and show that DCC is a community that cares. Celebrate the holiday season with us at Discover Community Church's Christmas Brunch. We'll gather on Sunday, December 15th at 11 a.m. in Waldorf, Maryland for a warm, joyful celebration filled with music, delicious food, games, a white elephant gift exchange, and a special celebration honoring Pastor Kev and First Lady Chrissy as their family moves into their next chapter together. We'll also serve our community by wrapping gifts for extraordinary birthdays to spread extra holiday cheer. Don't forget to bring a pair of new socks to contribute to our DCC Kids Sock Drive and help support those in need this winter. Don't miss this opportunity to connect, serve, and celebrate with our DCC family.